There are 16 different personality types, and if you know someone's personality type, it can help you speak their language. It's the closest thing, the next best thing to having X-ray vision. Being able to speed read people can allow you to do better in interviews and meet new people and get you closer to the things you want. Oftentimes I'll have people tell me I behave a certain way because of my zodiac, like sign, I'm a Cancer. And I tell them no, it's just in my personality, it's just in my nature. I am an INTJ, an introverted, intuitive, thinking judger. Now what does this mean? I'm going to help you try to determine your personality trait as well as a brief instruction and introduction into the Myers-Briggs personality type, allowing you to speed read people. There's 8 categories, 16 different personality types in total. Extroverted and introverted, sensor, intuitive, thinker, feeler, judger, perceiver. I'm going to go through these briefly so you guys can figure out what you want. There's an extended book called The Art of Speed Reading People. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can get that off of Amazon.com. It's a great book. I highly recommend it, and it helps you be able to connect with people better and speak their language and get a stronger connection with people. Everything is measured on a spectrum. No one particularly leans 100% to being introverted or extroverted or whatever the case may be. Some of these questions you may lean on the fence, and you just have to ask yourself, well, which do I tend to lean more on? Like I said, everything is just in a spectrum. So between extrovert and introverted, this is just how you're energized, how people are energized. Do you get more energy by being out and around a group of friends and with people, or more time, more energy being by yourself? In this particular case, we're taking the E and the I. So, like I said, everything's on a spectrum. Which side do you lean more towards? How do you get your energy? Are you one of the people that if you have to study for something, you'll study alone in a room quiet, or you just want to be around other people? Or if you want to watch a movie, you have to be watching it with someone else, or can you enjoy it by yourself? Ask yourself, do I focus my energy on the outer world of people and things, or the inner world of thoughts and ideas? For sensor, we use the S. For the intuitive, because the I and introvert is already taken, we use the N. Intuitive, intuitive. Again, all of these on the spectrum. An intuitive person sees the forest. A sensor sees the trees. Sensors pay attention to the fine details, where the intuitive person is focusing on the bigger picture. Are you more tuned in to the here and the now, all the details around? Or are you more in tune to imagining how things will affect future events, seeing the bigger picture? Now, no personality type is better than a different personality type. That's just all it is. It's just a different personality type. How we make our decisions. Thinkers and feelers. I myself am a thinker. Feelers are the ones who will base their decisions off of how something made them feel. If you go through a rocky relationship and just broke up, may say to her girlfriends, oh, you said I was ugly and you cheated on me and you did this and that, and like these were wrong, but he was funny and he made me feel good when we were together. He just made me feel good. And then they may end up getting back to that person who treated them so poorly based off of just how they feel. So do you make your decisions based off how you feel about a situation, or after thinking about it and weighing the pros and cons, making decisions objectively? Thinkers are more logical and analytical. Feelers are more sensitive and empathetic. And finally, there are judgers and perceivers. These are how you like to organize your world. Now, I'm a judger, but I don't keep everything super organized and clean necessarily, but perceivers are the type of people that when you say, oh, where do you guys want to go out to eat tonight? Perceivers will be like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to make a decision. It doesn't bother me, I'm down for whatever, it's cool. Judgers are the ones who say, all right, we're going to P.F. Chang's, you're driving, let's leave in 10 minutes, let's do it. Everyone else is like, okay, cool. Those are the perceivers. So the judges are the ones who make quick decisions pretty much on behalf of everyone else because they feel almost uncomfortable to not have a situation or a decision resolved, or at least planned out. Do you plan things, or do you wing it? Judges would rather have something settled and decided. Perceivers would rather leave their options open in case something comes up. 16 personality types seems like a lot, and granted it is, it might be a little overwhelming trying to think, how am I supposed to quickly speed read people and figure out their personality type? I might be too caught in trying to determine that and lose conversations, seem weirded out in just trying to have a normal conversation with them because I'm trying to figure out their personality type. Well, just by interacting with people, you'll be able to tell pretty apparently and quickly whether they're introverted or extroverted, as well as whether they're a thinker or a feeler. These two categories, they extrovert these, and they introvert the opposite. So, if someone's a thinker, you'll hear it. Oh, this is what I think about that. This is what I think about that. They extrovert what they're thinking. The actual idea that they are thinking so much and what they're thinking and why they're thinking it and breaking things down and being logical, being analytical, looking at from a very skeptical perspective. Whereas feelers also, they'll extrovert their feelings. They'll tell you how they felt the day, like how their day went or whatever. And they'll introvert the opposite. So a thinker will hide his emotions and be very serious, his or her emotions, and be very serious and reserved and calm. And a feeler who is very happy and just very like flamboyant dancing, they will introvert thinking. They'll keep their thoughts to themselves and they'll just let everyone know how they feel. Now, extroverted and introverted may seem a little bit difficult because while I am introverted, it may seem like I'm extroverted. That's because I play it off well, especially when I'm with other people and I go out and I perform, magic, entertain, do hypnosis, and hanging out with friends. That's just because I'm speaking their language and I'm adapting and evolving, becoming a chameleon to the group, and that's what this is all about, is becoming a chameleon. So you can seem very wide range in personality, and people will want to be around you because of that. Introverted people will wear their headphones. Extroverted people are people who want to be out and about in public, go out to be seen, not really go out to do anything, just go out to be seen. And so if you can determine those two, now you're down to 8, because you just cut your personality traits in half by figuring out whether they're extroverted, introverted. So if you can find the missing letters, introverted, extroverted, or a thinking feeler, then you can only have to determine whether they're intuitive and a sensor, and a judge or a perceiver. Judge and perceivers, the easier of the two to figure out. Intuitive and sensing may take a little bit longer in conversation and just hanging around people to figure out that particular instance. But you never know. So a nice little way to determine whether someone is a sensor or intuitive, you can try to determine their temperament. There are sensing judgers. These are traditionally the traditionalists. These are people who love to keep things structured. They love closure. These are typically general bosses of some kind, keeping things very traditional. So remember, these are temperaments. So in the way that they behave, you'll see as we go along. So sensing perceivers. These are the experiencers of life, the adventurous, the artists, people who travel around the world and just have to be out and doing something, partaking in some kind of activity. Surfers, a lot of surfers are experiencers or adventurous. Sensing perceivers. They sense, they want to be around something new. All in the travel. Perceivers. Oh yeah, I could probably do that. Well, oh, want to fly to India tomorrow? Yeah, let's do it. Perceivers. Just want new experiences. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll drink that. I'll do that. I'll jump off that cliff. I'll do this crazy thing. Those people
are adrenaline junkies, and they need it. If you find people who are adrenaline junkies, people like that, more often than not, their temperament is going to give away half of their personality trait. Sensing perceivers. Intuitive feelers. These are the idealists. These are the people who want an ideal future, peace, harmony, tranquility. They hate conflict. Intuitive, they look at the bigger picture. Feelers, they base things off of how they feel. The last one, NT, that's me. Conceptualizers or rationalizers. These are the people who break things down and try to figure it out logically and analytically and scientifically, or if they see something that their brain just doesn't process, they'll figure it out, whereas a feeler, an intuitive, or a sensor, a feeler, may be like, oh, yeah, that was nice. But that's the kind of stuff that would get under our skin, the conceptualizers. These people are leaders in business. I'm not, because I'm also a introvert. That makes me very in my shell. If I was extroverted, I could probably be more of a bully. So that is an extremely brief rundown of how to speed read people. There are 16 different personality types. I hope you have been able to determine yours. Now, what that means for you, you don't have the book necessarily. Google it. Try to determine from what I gave you what personality type you are. And your personality type can change over time, so don't feel upset if you're introverted and you wish you were happy-go-lucky extroverted. It's just, what side do you lean on more? The things I gave you really aren't a concrete way to determine that, so I highly suggest picking up the book, How to Speed Read People. It's a book by Paul D. and Barbara Barron-Tiger. So I highly recommend getting that book. You can instantly start learning how to speed read people, speak their language, x-ray vision, adapt, evolve, become a chameleon with your surroundings. You'll feel welcomed and wanted in new groups of people and just in social environments. Used it plenty of times at job interviews to determine what my interviewee was, and then being able to adapt to their style. And then when I get the job, I go back to my own style. So it's just like, what happened to that guy who we interviewed? But I got the job. Read it, learn up, figure out what you are, so you can become more in tune with yourself. You'll be baffled by how accurate the description is. And remember, we do the things we do because it's in our personality, it's in our nature, not because some star in the sky told you so.